Welcome to the Perlo Podcast. We talk construction, its people, its challenges, its opportunities.
If you're going to get into construction, I mean, it can be a good living. I mean, as much as I like to complain sometimes, I don't like to, but I'm guilty of it. Pretty fortunate, you know. Again, going back to that high school teacher of mine, I called him up a while ago and just said, hey, thanks, he kind of started to where I was able to have a career that provided me with a pretty good life, for myself and my family, So it can be a good career for some people, but that same high school teacher, his father had told me when I worked for them that if you're going to be in construction, you need to be prepared to work with some rough people, and you got to develop a thick skin. You need to learn to save your money because it's feast or famine. And he had told me that it's a career, but this job is not a career. The trade is a career. And every day you show up for work, you're working yourself out of a job. That's your goal, is to complete the work. And then you might have to go find a different job for somebody else. He told me at that point that you need to have a black book with a list of people to call in that black book. Because essentially he explained it as if, you were a migrant farm worker. When this crop is picked, you need to find another crop to pick, and you need to, and that's a job skill. So you needed to have different people that you can work for. You needed to be okay with working yourself out of the job. You need to be okay with being laid off. A lot of people take that personally, and they look at that as, some guys, they'll get a layoff check and think it's the end of the world. No, that just means that you got to go find another job, and it can be. I used to really enjoy that. I liked hustling the next job, and I liked putting another name in my book, but that came from that one guy. I mean, I worked for him for 2 years, and after 2 years, he gave me a layoff check. Not because he didn't have any work, he just thought I needed to learn that lesson and go find another job. He said, you've worked for me for 2 years, you've learned all you can at this point in time here, you need to go work for somebody else. Come back, call me in a year when you got a couple more names in your black book and you've learned some other skills from other people. He says, I'll always have a job for you, but I don't have anything for you now. So I think a lot of guys nowadays need to come to terms with that. I mean, you're laying off guys right now. How many of those guys are going to be okay with that?
So I back on his point there where he's saying there, I've been pretty blessed for Perlo. I mean,
yeah, we both have.
I mean, I never have been laid off from Perlo. I mean, your dad told me years ago one time I'm washing windows, and I asked him, hey, do I need to look for another job? He says, you're getting a check, ain't you? I said, okay, I'll keep washing windows. I mean, I've been fortunate. And some of these guys, who haven't, I mean, it's like his story he says right there. So, I mean, I've been here. I mean, I did go to work when I was working in Auburn in Woodland for about 4 months because I got tired of driving up there. And then I tried to start my own business, and that didn't work out very good. So,
But
in 28 years or whatever, I mean, your dad didn't have to hire me back, and they did. So,
yeah,
I've been blessed. So,
yeah, I wouldn't say I've actually been laid off from Perlo. I think I always beat them to the punch. But at the same time, I was kind of going on the way I was taught that, you work yourself out of a job and go find another one. And they were always good enough to hire me back. I always tried to give them more than their money's worth, for a hard day's work. But there's been some good opportunities here.
Visit us online at perlo.biz Subscribe to catch our future episodes and join us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube to discuss all things construction. And finally, work hard, do what's right, and make it fun.